Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note about my readings, they are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Scorpio, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. And if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. Before we start, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have your very own card, the Death card, which actually represents the sign of Scorpio. So this is you in many ways, shapes and forms. This is you showing up as yourself this week. There is an element of you in everything, like there is obviously anyway, but this week probably more so. There's an element of you in everything that you come into contact with and everything that you encounter. Now, what I love about this is we are in Aries season. And the Death card is number 13, 1 and 3 gives you 4. So that is a nod to the Emperor, which is the direct opposite to this card. And what I find really interesting about that is that we're in Aries season and you are, certainly in traditional astrology, you share a ruler. Mars is actually your ancient ruler in astrology as well. So there's this, I don't know, there's like this really weird but wonderful dichotomy that's taking place at the moment. And I feel like this is you coming into a new era of self. For your actions and options this week, you have the 7 of Wands. This is you standing your ground this week. It may very well be that you have to put someone or something in its place, not necessarily a bad thing. Scorpios have slowly but surely been getting their mojo back, right? And I think now that you've got it like back in full sort of swing, it's like, yeah, Scorpio is back in the building, which I absolutely love. Now for your actions and options, the things that you are choosing this week, it's about you being very selective about what your battles are. This is you saying, right, you know what, yes, I need to check somebody, or no, actually this doesn't deserve my time and attention. This week you're going to be very, very selective about what you put your time, effort and energy to, which is a really good place to be. For your communications and conversations, you have the 2 of Wands. So it's all about the money and it's all about those big, bold steps forward this week as well. So there are some big decisions to be made this week, and you know what you're letting go of, what you're phasing out of. For some of you, this might be looking at a certain income stream that maybe you were used to having is now going away, or you're not giving as much credence to it as you would have once before. It does look like a lot of things are really starting to change for you, and they're really starting to take off, which I actually really like. The other thing with the 2 of Wands as well, this suggests that the people that you are associated with, or even your demographic, if you're a business owner, is about to shift dramatically. So for those of you that work for somebody else, this could be you again making that decision. Am I staying with this company? Am I staying with this job? Am I even staying in this industry and this area? Something about the work is coming up for a big rewrite at the moment. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, again, there's this idea that you are stepping out of, maybe not necessarily stepping out of your industry, but certainly stepping out of a comfort zone that you've had up until this moment. And it's like you're taking this big, bold step forward, and it's going to completely shift your demographic or the people that you are associated with. And I have to tell you, with the 2 of Wands, you could do a lot worse. The 2 of Wands tends to attach you to wealthy people, affluent people, people that have already kind of done their thing on the financial level and are now just, you know, looking at what they would like to do rather than what they have to do, which is great. Maybe this is you, right, coming into that experience as well, which is wonderful. For your people that are retired or no longer working for any reason, again, this is really you starting to make the decision of what you're going to put your time and effort into now. And it also looks like as well, for a lot of you, you're going to start to think about ways that you can generate an income that aren't necessarily attached to the traditional sense, you know, the traditional ways of making money, i.e. the 9 to 5. For your money and materials, you have the 6 of Wands. Look at this. I mean, these 2 cards are phenomenal. phenomenal. Your finances are secure. Your finances are in a very good space at this moment in time. For some of you, this could even be bringing an old idea back into the fore, to find new ways to make money from an old service that you used to offer, or maybe even an old, what's the word? Practice of some sort that you used to do. So this could be, I don't know, maybe you run into somebody that you worked with years ago and they say, oh, you know, do you want to do ... It's definitely a possibility. This is a really good week for you to speak up about what your talents and skills are. It's a great week for you to put yourself on. It's a great week for you to be your own biggest cheerleader. Love this, love this. So when it comes to your physical health and vitality, your back, your spine and your heart, these are the things that you want to put more time and effort into, whether this is finding a supplement to support to support your heart and your circulatory system, anything like that. There's not to say that there's any issues. For some of you, this could even be the end of an issue that you've been having in that general sort of area. When it comes to your home and environment, this is lovely. This is you finally taking a moment to go, can you hear that? What? Nothing. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? This is one of those moments where you can literally step back and say, you know what? It was all a crazy slog, but look where we are. This is probably one of the true few moments so far for this year, and there will be a few more. But probably one of the first moments that you've had to really step back and say, man, you know what? I love my home, and you know, you're just enjoying it on a deeper level than you have in a long time. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is a victory, right? It really is. Not everybody is in that space, trust me. For your love and relations, you've got the Magician card. This bodes very well for those of you that are in partnerships or relationships or marriages at this moment in time, because this suggests that you guys as a couple or a collective are really stepping forward. There's great communication here. There's a very strong idea of what the next step is, and you're taking it as a collective rather than as two separate people, which is wonderful. For those of you that are single, it looks like there's somebody in the picture, and whoever this person is, they reek of power, but in the best sort of way. This isn't somebody that talks down to other people, is like, oh, look at me, I'm so wonderful. This is somebody that is like a boss, but doesn't act in that sort of like, I'm a boss kind of way. Do you know what I mean? It's like, as far as I'm concerned anyway, the most boss-like people are the ones that you don't even know are in charge. They just naturally exude the confidence to ask for what they need, to direct what they like. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to come across somebody like that who's a master communicator, somebody that is very likely to be extremely wealthy. The Magician card coupled with the Two of Wands, that is someone who is, they got nothing left to prove to anybody, right? This person has money, they've got status, they've got everything they ever need. So when they show interest in somebody, it's genuine. It's about the person, not what they can give them or what they can get from them. So keep your eyes peeled, because you could be meeting somebody this week that blows your socks off and ticks all the boxes. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get into your full moon message from the human design oracle cards. And for your full moon message, my dear Scorpios, you get the gate 64, confusion. Okay, so what is the message here? Especially with the death card, right? This suggests to me that if you do have a moment of confusion this week, it's likely to come from that space of, is this the right thing to say at the right moment, right? Everything else is ticking over wonderfully, as we can see, but you might have to put someone or something in their place. And it looks like you're in two minds about this. It's kind of like, oh, you know, I know this needs to be said, but maybe, do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like a hesitancy rather than a confusion, and I find that really interesting. This would be, if it were me, and you know, it's me doing the reading, this would be the time where I would go into my intuition. That's how it works for me. When I come up against something that I'm like, oh, I've got nothing in the wheelhouse for this, I don't know what to look at, that's at the moment where I would center myself and say, right, okay, what is it? What is the right path here? Take a moment to do that. And if you look at the figure, that's what she's doing, right? So this is what I would do. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. It's interesting that this comes up as well, because if it is the gate 64 and its confusion, one of the things that I find intriguing about that is the Libra full moon that's taking place at the end of this week is actually, especially if you're an ascendant Scorpio, is taking place in your 12th house. And the 12th house can be a confusing space because it's all of our baggage, it's our past, it's our unconscious, and it can sometimes be as well. I know it's been called the house of self-undoing. So, you know, maybe this week as well, where you do have to put someone or something in their place, that hesitancy is coming from a place of, oh, you know, well, what's going to be the fallout from this? Is that you getting in your own way because you know that you're about to take a huge step forward? Sometimes it's a long way for a shortcut, right? Anyway, with that said, have a great week. Let me know how it shapes up for you if it's not too personal. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, and I'll see you soon.